Of all the content added to Star Citizen in the last year, there's been a lot of great stuff, but in my opinion, the one that still is the best is the contested zones in Pyro. Now in this video, I'm going to try to run it solo. Might be a bit of a tutorial. I've done this quite a few times, so I'm going to try to do it as optimally as possible, and I'm going to go through a few of the principles you really want to follow when trying to do a contested zone. So the first thing you really want to have when doing a contested zone is the right equipment. You're going to want a bunch of ammo. I've got a Gallant rifle because I like the precision, and then I've got the new Fresnel Energy LMG. And then a bunch of med pens. This is probably on the lower end of what you'd want. I would recommend at least 15, but there'll probably be a chance to pick up a few, and I don't intend to die. Now we're going to be running Checkmate, and so at Checkmate, there's an opportunity for you to pick up a few blue cards, but you're going to need a red card from one of the supervisor stations. The last thing you're going to need is approximately 5 fuses. You can pick them up in the station, however, it takes a lot of time. You got to go side routes, and the biggest principle, this is the first principle of contested zones, is move fast. People coming up behind you can only catch you if they're faster than you. If you take shortcuts, if you slow down, you go look at all the side rooms, they will catch you. But if you're fast enough, you can leave them behind, and because it's 2 printers, they're going to have to wait for the next card print, and you're already going to be at the next location. I am wearing the new heavy industrial armor from the Onyx facilities. I like it a lot because it's heavy armor, so a lot of damage reduction, and it looks better than Morozov in my opinion, but Morozov will do you fine. Alright. Now, another tip for when you run a contested zone is you want to check how many people are around. First way to do this is just look, is there anyone else around? If you see a bunch of people in heavy gear, they're probably going to do contested zones. Just keep an eye out. You can usually tell from their behavior. If I see them, I usually flash my torchlight at them, see how they react, and that can sometimes give some indication. The other way is you want to open your information, which you do by typing this r_display info equals 1 into the console when you press tilde, and it'll bring up that information in the top right. And about 2 lines down from FPS, it shows all the way on the right the shard population and the server population. The shard being, of course, the combined servers across the entire 2 solar systems, and the server being the local area. So the local ones, what you really want to look at, is 24 people, and the current build is 3 servers for the entirety of Pyro, and so 24, that means it's 24 people in this third of Pyro, and so that's not terribly bad. That's relatively low, especially since they're not all going to be at Checkmate, so we have a pretty decent chance of being able to get through this unscathed. Now I like to go into Checkmate from this entrance, Contested Zone 2 I believe it is, Contested Zone Access 2. Not really any real reason for it. It's I just know the route. Turn it down. Oof. Alright. Now once you're in, you cannot take out your weapons here, but once you get into the airlock, you can then take out your weapons. This also means if you're sitting here and there's players behind you, if they rush in, they can kill you while you're standing here. However, if they are in the airlock and you are not, and they shoot you, you will not be able to take any damage. So that's another thing to consider. Dead player there. Not a great sign. Alright. And the big thing you want to be looking out for, always, in this, is for signs of player activity. So a fuse not taken is actually great. It generally implies generally implies no one has been through, because usually people will take the fuses. Another principle: always close doors behind you. That was our second sign. There is no one ahead of us, likely, in the near future, because those would have been taken out if someone had come through here. Now, there are other entrances, so they could come through there, and we're going to go a little bit cautiously. There are several paths to take, and NPCs usually spawn in this area. I seem to have misplaced my LMG. That's okay. I'm going to keep going. Now we run through here. Go through here if you need to get blue cards. I'm not getting blue cards today. I've brought some with me. You can get those blue cards in a very low risk run. You don't need to bring your red cards with you. You can do that another time. Now ideally I'd like to be doing this as a group with someone to guard my back, but I know how to do this fast. Insert here. Then again, watch the door. And close behind. There's a player there. So again, moving fast is likely the best tactic here. Move forward. I haven't seen the NPCs spawning. That's good. Sometimes they spawn like this with NPCs not working. That's usually just a good sign, and I take that as a free rein to just rush in. This is the room that has the card printer in it. The first one. Come around to the left. There's an item messing around. I focus. This is where someone will hold it, usually. So here's a dead player who was caught. And now we hope that this is printable. Okay, someone has come back. It's 7 minutes 40 to go. I'm a big fan of this spot here. Yep, I do not have my LMG on me. That's unfortunate. Alright, so I'm going to turn the music volume down so I can have a better chance, and turn sound effects up so I can hear player footsteps if there are any. Now it can be good to set a timer on your phone, just to match up with Alright, that should be about to go off. Yep. And this is the dangerous point.
Process complete.
There we go. Do a check that's actually in my inventory. Yep, there we go. Now, this is dangerous because we have to backtrack. Backtracking is always a risk. Alright. Now, again.
Access.
There we go. Alright, so now that we're through, I feel a little bit safer. Anyone who is coming up behind us is likely going to want to use the same card printer, and so they don't have a lot of incentive for running straight on through, unless they think they can catch us, which most people really don't want to take that chance. But, you know, never say never. Alright, final bit of danger. We're going to go up to the observation deck where the last 2 or 3 cards are. There is an entrance to get to this without having to go through the red door, so if anyone has decided to take that chance, this is where we'd interrupt them. Or we'd be interrupted by them, rather. Okay, tripwires are all intact. That means likely no one's been through here in the last 15 minutes. However, and those items are just spawning now. However, I never take that for granted. NPCs will usually spawn here if they're not broken, but I think given that they were broken in the other room, they're likely here. Rush through. The other danger we have is camping players. Now that elevator sound, you might think that means there's a player using the elevator, but that's actually the sound it makes when it spawns in for the first time as well. It's not really a risk. Now this is a bit unfortunate. This is a glitch that will happen where it doesn't show how much time is left. There is a way to see the time. You need to Alt F4 and then rejoin the game. If you Alt F4, then the game thinks that you've crashed and it will not send you back to your home rather than exiting. And when you reload in, it'll show the timer. Now, given that the last one has just gone done, there's quite a good chance that these are very close to finishing, or to resetting rather. But we're likely faster than whoever did this before, and so they're like 30 seconds off. Loading back in. This is the time to have a fast computer, but that's what we can do. Obviously, there are a few glitches in this run, a few bugs. The NPC's not spawning, which makes it easier, but also this has been persistent since about 4.3. But it's better than the glitches that were rampant in the initial release, where card printers would just stop working. So they're a little bit more reliable, but occasionally you just can't see the timers. Alright, back in. "12 minutes. That's a bit concerning. Check the other printer. That probably implies... Not sure what that means, because in order to get a offset of 15 minutes to 11 minutes, this will be the first one to reset. It might mean someone was camping at some point. Copian's not responding, you'll have to see it. So we got 10 minutes, 45. Gonna set another timer. And it's in the corner. Unfortunately, this is usually how... There's 2 ways. There are 2 ways that a contested zone run can go. There is either the high-octane PvP fight, fighting through NPCs, hordes at a time, barely making out of there with multiple tiered injuries, and getting your cards, and you have the time of your life. And the other is a quick run that you have very minimal contact, NPCs not working, or you just end up waiting on timers, and it's a lot of tension, but that's about it. So personally, I prefer the ones where it's just a lot of tension, because I don't really want to take a fight. The rule of fighting that I follow is never take a fair fight. If there's one person, two people coming at me, I know that I'm probably going to lose, so I'm not going to do it. Even if there's just one person, I'd rather not fight them. That's why I didn't wait at that door for that other player. And I'd rather just get out with my cards, and so I can get my executive ship at the end. Alright. Now, there would have been plenty of time while waiting for someone to come up behind us, so we want to just be very careful again. Caution is the name of the game. Alright.
Fabrication test accepted. Beginning
Printing.
fabrication. Please stand
That makes a lot of noise.
Process complete.
It's card 3. Gonna grab card 2 now.
Fabrication. Process.
Alright, I have all 3 cards now. And I'm just gonna double check that they're all in my inventory. 1, 2, 3, yes. Now the extraction. There are a lot of components around. If you're running this with an org, I'd recommend checking them into the freight elevator and taking them home. But going solo, I don't want to risk someone coming up behind me. They're all A grade, well, A, B, and C military and stealth components. Some of them are quite good. I've not really made too much use of them though. And just like all Star Citizen elevators, press the button a few times if you need to. And extraction. Drop down. And make your way through the tunnels. So we come out here near the hangars. I run immediately over to the terminal. Wait for it to load. That's fine. There we go, so 1, 2, 3. I've already got a full set, but I'm going to get another one just to have. And that way I got more chances. There you go. Alright. There you go. So that is the Checkmate Executive Zone. Alright, so there you go. That is the Checkmate Contested Zone. You got cards 1, 2, 3. After this, you need to go to Obituary, which you need a red card for, and Ruin, which you do not. But we'll get to those another time.